Araki Hirohiko, known for his flashy style and unique art, is a world-famous Japanese manga artist. Manga are like comic books in that they feature drawings with text boxes and speech bubbles. He has written and drawn for many popular manga in both Japan and in the United States. These include Poker Under Arms, Bao, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and Rohan at the Louvre. Hirohiko's manga each have their own unique style and storytelling, and it's this special way of drawing that both made Hirohiko famous and also caused him some trouble with publishers.
Hirohiko was born in 1960 in Sendai, Japan, and grew up with younger identical twin sisters. Hirohiko claims their annoying behavior is the reason he spent so much time alone in his room learning how to draw manga. Hirohiko always loved art and wanted to write professionally.
However, Hirohiko almost never drew manga at all. As a child, his parents did not appreciate his manga. They thought he should paint or do calligraphy if he liked art, so he had to draw behind his parents' backs. Hirohiko's friends encouraged his manga, so he submitted several pages of a Wild West manga he drew to Shueisha, a Japanese publisher. They turned him down flat, instead giving rewards and jobs to younger and more successful manga artists. Hirohiko wanted to know why this happened, so he went to the Shueisha and asked directly.
The editor told him that his manga was too unprofessional, and he would need polish and better writing to receive any awards. Hirohiko took a stand with his manga and submitted it to the Tezuka Manga Awards, no matter what the publisher said. The judges recognized his manga with the Selected Manga First Place Award.
This kick-started Hirohiko's career as a mangaka, or manga author, and he wrote critically acclaimed manga such as Bao, Poker Under Arms, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. He started out with his debut work in 1980 with Poker Under Arms. This work was heavily criticized by his editor in Tokyo, but had potential. So Hirohiko fixed it up and had it ready for the Tezuka Awards that year, where he received the prize for runner-up. Next, in 1983, he released his new work titled Cool Shock BT. This was a story about a magician who solved mysteries, and is viewed as a more transitional piece for Hirohiko. In 1984, he released Bao, which featured his more extravagant art style and storytelling. This followed a protagonist who had a parasite planted in his brain by the government and his journey for revenge. Bao was adapted into an animated work in 1989. 1985 was around the time where he truly developed his massively muscular, over-the-top characters he is most well known for in his work Gorgeous Irene, which was followed in 1986 by his magnum opus, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
The storyline of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure begins in 1880 with the young boy Jonathan Joestar, often called JoJo. His adopted brother Dio has a great lust for power. Dio steals an ancient stone mask and transforms himself into a nearly invincible vampire. A man named William Zeppeli teaches JoJo the ancient martial art known as Hamon, and JoJo uses it to take Dio down with the sinking ship, and both are lost to the world. In Part 2, we follow Jonathan's grandson Joseph in 1938. Joseph is hot-headed and clever. He gets into trouble with the Nazis and the Pillar Men, who are an ancient race of shape-shifting vampires. Using his grandfather's Hamon, his wits, and his friend Caesar Zeppeli, the Pillar Men are defeated.
Already from the descriptions, you can see Hirohiko's strange style of storytelling come out. Now we come to Part 3 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which introduces a new concept into the universe. It went on to become the staple of the series as the most ridiculous and fantastical magical power ever seen. It is known as the Stand. A stand is a humanoid apparition that appears nearby the stand's user in times of trouble. Stands all have a special ability that can be used to protect the user and itself. They do this because if a user dies, the stand dies, and vice versa. Knowing this, we can say that Araki Hirohiko literally took a stand in his manga, making them the magical power of his characters. Part 3 is the story of Joseph's grandson, Jotaro Kujo, and his stand, Star Platinum. Jotaro must travel to Egypt to fight his step-great-great-grandfather Dio, who comes from Part 1. Part 4 takes us to Morayo, a city where stand users run amok. Josuke Higashikata and his stand, Crazy Diamond, keep order in the chaotic town. Meanwhile, in Italy, Giorno Giovanna and his newsstand, Gold Experience, want to take over the Mafia so their power and money can be used for good. That plot is covered in Part 5. Giorno is also the son of Dio, the antagonist from Part 3. Their relationship is shown in this clip from the new Eyes of Heaven game, where they attack an enemy together. Part 6 takes place in a prison, where Jotaro's daughter, Jolene, is wrongly imprisoned and must escape.
In the finale of Part 6, an enormously powerful stand called Made in Heaven turns back the universe to its origin. The laws of the universe are rewritten, and we end up back in 1880, where we join Jonathan Joestar again. Except this time his name is Johnny. He's a horse racing jockey in the United States, he's paralyzed from the waist down, and he's just entered a coast-to-coast race known only as the Steel Ball Run. On the way to start the race, Johnny meets a man named Gyro Zappelli, who can spin a sphere so fast it boomerangs back to him when he throws it. The two help each other through the race and uncover a secret plot to take over the world using a curse brought on by the corpse of a holy saint. Part 7, the longest part, follows the Steel Ball Run from its start in San Diego to its end in New York. This leaves us at Part 8, which is still being written. So far, all we know is that the protagonist has amnesia, a stand called S&W that can blow explosive bubbles, and a sailor's uniform that once belonged to a murderer.
Judging by the description alone, you can see why many publishers were so hesitant to publish Hirohiko's work. It sounds crazy, nearly insane to some people. That being said, Hirohiko took another stand with his manga, refusing to change his art style, kooky characters, or crazy plots. After winning awards for his earlier manga, Araki Hirohiko convinced Shueisha to publish JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and it became a worldwide hit. Over 95 million copies of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure are in print, making it one of the best-selling mangas of all time. In conclusion, Araki Hirohiko took a stand against his critics by continuing to be true to his own unique style of art and storytelling. This special way of drawing made Araki Hirohiko famous and is what fuels the continued interest in his manga. Araki Hirohiko truly took a stand in his art and continues to even today.